Alright, hi everybody, it's bankai 922. A 12 days of anime introduction video will be uploaded with this. Bleach, chapter 560. Okay, wait a minute, before I get into this, listen. Tate Kubo, have you been watching a lot of WWE? You know, Rey Mysterio Jr.? I have to do it, because this third ritter, man, yo, like, really?
In this corner we have Macho Man, it's Hulk Hogan. Oh.
Like, when did wrestling become a part of Bleach? I mean, don't you see behind me, the Jerry the King Lawler poster I got at Comic-Con, and you see that little poster my brother did, got a signature for Hulk Hogan. But true, you know, we watch wrestling, but that doesn't mean I want it in my mangas. At least to say, this was an interesting chapter. Rage is at ringside, 560. We have, you know, Masco Mussolini, and Tanky already did his review, and he was so funny with it. He's like, is this guy wearing a bow tie? Sure enough, yes. Mask Mussolini is wearing a bow tie. And he's got like, oh man, he's just too weird. And he's like saying that there's something in the distance and saying, maybe I should investigate it. What say you, James? And he's like, if you were to handle someone or something, I'd show you. I'm sure you'd be showered with accolades. So, and here's the thing that I don't understand. Like, who is this wrestler? Is this guy now John Cena? Like, has he become the John Cena of the Sternritters? Because, like, it was just so ridiculous. Essentially, what happens is he says that settles it. Let's go taste James and stuff. And I'm like, God damn this guy. Pretty much the rest of the chapter we have now. A lot of people obviously are probably gonna rant on this chapter because of what occurred. I will say this though. What I did like about this chapter, I like the fact that they showcased Kensei. I thought Kensei was beast in this chapter. Showing his moves, you know, with his bankai and shit. I like that fact. The thing that just pissed me off was this freaking James character. He's this short, bald, fat guy. I'm like, when did Paul Heyman get drawn into Bleach? That's what do you think would happen? Kurete Kuma was sitting back. He's like, okay, oh, what's this? Oh, it's WWE. I'm like, who's that guy? Oh, that's Rey Mysterio Jr. Oh, who's that guy? Oh, that's Paul Heyman. I know what to do. I'm telling you right now, guys. That's what he did. He was pulling that in. The WWE stuff. But anyway, essentially, yeah, we showcased Kensei, which I thought was pretty beast. Part here we see that Isagi is still conscious. He throws his chain at Mussolini, and you know, you think this is over because you knocked us out, which is not true because you're conscious. Like, that was stupid. And Mussolini basically just grabs Hisagi, Shuhei's chain and just like clothesline him. It was like, you know, it was so ridiculous. He's like, oh, boom. I'm like, I could have a field day with the wrestling puns in this review, but I'm not. I'm just gonna do the regular review of it. And he's like, and he's basically answering him to Asagi. Of course I do. And then he's about to crush his skull in with his foot, and someone stops him. And it's not Bosby. It's obviously Kensei. And he's like saying how, you know, saying how he couldn't show the fruits of his labor. Kensei. Couldn't, obviously, he's probably suggesting, Kensei, that Shuhei couldn't show maybe bankai off to Mussolini. So he calls him pathetic, he downgrades him, saying how pathetic he is and everything. And a little introduction here between Mussolini and Kensei, saying I'm that guy's captain, and so on and so forth. And Mussolini basically wants him to step aside because he wants to go and take care of those two that were going to have that flashy entrance. And then we find someone else is there and saying, we can't allow you to do that. It's Rose. Rose showing up and saying that this is a great opportunity for you to take on two captains at once. And then Kensei at that point, he's like, no fucking around. Don't worry. I didn't come here to fuck with you. I'm here to go bankai. Bankai! And then he basically just has the Tenkin Tachikaze. Oh, by the way, that bankai is fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. Oh, man. It's so beast. Kensei, man. He's like, come on. He's got gauntlets. Come on. Let's go punch some people. So he brings it out, pretty much, and he's gonna go against him. He says, "You have no choice, Mussolini. I'll just take you down. Make sure you down with a 10 count. No." And it says, "He's gone when you have a drop kick." Rages at ringside. Title page. I'm like, 10 count? No. Why are you doing this, Kubo? Too many wrestling puns. But I will say this. I honestly gave it a 4 out of 5. I actually like this. And I'm going to agree with some people. I actually like... we have some Stern Ritters that are not, Volstagg, I'm throwing bombs at you. We have some Stern Ritters who can do more than that. We have a Stern Ritter here who can fight hand-to-hand combat. Who can... is going to fight. And this is really good because it brings up the idea that he's going to fight Kensei, and Kensei's using gauntlets. He's not using a sword or anything. That's like it's like a street fight almost. Which is pretty interesting. I mean, I know the wrestling puns are like ridiculous in this chapter, but I thought it was pretty cool. So, Rages at ringside, and then pretty much he gets hit to the tower, and Kensei's like, "You're shitting me.
Some of this caliber took out Shuhei. Board's getting an earful."
He's like, he was going full rage mode, Kensei, when, he was so... That's going to be the thumbnail. Kensei's rage mode. That's the thumbnail, I think, for me. But yeah, he basically goes full rage mode on him. Say, "Give your earful," and he just punches the shit out of Mussolini.
I was like, oh my god, steel chair.
That's what I want to say. It was like a wrestling match. Yo, yeah, I would call it. It was a wrestling match. And he's basically like, oh, like in wrestling, where the wrestlers like Randy Orton, or they're holding their sides. I mean, this was a good chapter, I have to say. Even though and he's like saying, James is saying, "I can't. He took a single blow to get the Mister falls to his knees." And then we get an explanation from Kensei, and that's another reason I like this chapter. Get an explanation about his power, saying his Zanbakuto Tachikaze has the ability to make whatever it cuts explode, and that his bankai form, all that destructive power is transferred to the knuckle blades, and saying that it will continue to hit you infinitely as long as the knuckles are touching you. And that bursting power, which I was like, oh wow, this is fucking awesome. This is great. We get an explanation of his bankai. We get a good fight. The only bad side about the chapter from this chapter was the wrestling puns. That, I mean, even though it was funny, it's just too many of them, man. I was like, no, too many. But I still liked it. He punches him, he says, I'm gonna blow you to smithereens, you know, and all stuff, and throws him and shit, and it's like, and Rose saying, oh, I guess I'm just a spectator, meaning, you know, yeah, wrestling, spectator, that whole bit. And then you got James like, Mister, please don't lose, Mister. And I'm like, and then Kenzie's like, oh, I guess I must be the looking as the villain here. And he's like, and then you got freaking Shuhei. He's like, you got it wrong, Captain. That's not the guy you should be attacking. And he's like, you have to get the little guy first. And then the little guy, oh my God, he says, please get up, back on your feet, Mr. Superstar. I'm like, what? No, we're not doing this. Kubo, really? You're doing this? This guy is going to get back up and fight and beat the shit out of Kensei just because this little shithead says, get up! I'm like, what? This is not... Oh. This is not wrestling, okay? This little midget isn't Paul Heyman. Hey, yes, I go there. I went there. Because that's what this guy looked like. He looked like a short Paul Heyman. I'm sorry. But with goggles. Oh, no, wait. My bad. A short Paul Heyman who's bald with goggles. It was just like wrestling. That's what this chapter felt. The whole thing with Mussolini. It feels like wrestling. Because this little guy is like, he's at ringside. You know, he's at ringside and he's cheering on Mussolini. You know, that's what it felt like. It's so ridiculous. But anyway, Mr. Superstar, you know, and basically Mussolini grows like God knows how tall and looks like a freaking giant. And he just punches, he throws Kensei to a tower, and he hits Rose, and it's a superstar's duty to live up to the hype. I am S, and otherwise known as the Superstar Mask D Mussolini. Sorry about those ads. The audience's roars and applause becomes my strength. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, really? Really? It was a good chapter because we got obviously, and then that's pretty much the chapter. Got the explanation for Kensei's bankai. I really enjoyed that. That was really good. The other thing that was really good about this chapter was the whole thing about the fight. Obviously, the fight was pretty awesome. You know, with Kensei. But just the whole puns, man. I was like, really? We're doing this? The whole wrestling thing, Kubo? Who was he watching? Where did he get this character from? Tell me, you guys, I want to know. Where did he get it from? Because there's no way you're telling me with 100% certainty that he wasn't watching WWE. No, I don't buy it. He was watching WWE. Yeah, Kubo was watching it. It was like, I know, for the final, I'm going to come out. Oh yeah, I got it now. Mask di Mussolini. He's going to have a mask. He's going to have a sidekick, just like in wrestling with Vince McMahon. I can go on and on, people, with this, but essentially that's what happened in the chapter. I mean, for what it's worth, the puns were funny. It's just there were too many of them. But I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Kensei's not done. No, I don't see it. No, I definitely see Kensei coming back up. This should be an interesting fight because remember, like I said, Kensei's got the gauntlets. This guy's got, he's a wrestler. It's good to see it that it's, and then another good thing about this chapter was, it's not the same song and dance. I mean, what was the last fight we saw? Oh, Bambietta. But she had her Volstads, and she was throwing bombs and shit. So those were like projectiles. But here, it's good to see a Stern Ritter who's just using hand-to-hand combat. That's a change of pace, which I really like. So that's why I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. But it's just the puns. The wrestling puns that we dying. Right up, superstar Mussolini. I don't know, and personally, I don't know what I'm going to call this review. I really don't. It's like, it's like, when he's going to do this? I want to see him do that. Or just like, flex, But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. It's Bankai 922. Good chapter of Bleach. It's just, oh my god. Just the wrestling. Wrestling, Kubo? Really? I mean, I remember this guy from the previous chapters and when the first, war, when they first came in, the invasion. But I just didn't think he was going to be that much, But yeah, that's the story, people. Bankai 922. See you guys later. After this, I'll probably do the One Piece review. But I'll probably do is I'm going to upload this with this anime introduction video. I'll do that as well. And then I'll probably try to do Compilion if I can. Yeah, I'm going to do only those. Kanata is going to wait. I have to wait on that. That's going to be huge, that episode. So, wait on that. So, yeah. Bankai 922. And I will see you guys later. See ya.